Hikerj here. I have my new used Jeep. It's 2013 Jeep Wrangler, and it's an Oscar Mike version. Love it. But it came with these tinted windows on the side, and I really tried to like them, really hard, tried to like them during the day. Awesome, totally cool. But I'm in Michigan, where now it's getting to be winter, so it's dark at 5:30, and it is so hard to see out these sides. I feel like you can't even see pedestrians on the side of the road, or when you turn left or right, as well as the reflection that comes off the hood and casts on these. They just really aren't the best for my environment. I don't know how well this is going to show up, but as you can see, so it's like a white hood, right? But look at that, you can see out front, no problem. But then with the tinted, you can barely see, and I know you probably can't see, but there's this whole reflection of the white hood that happens all night long. But trying to take a left, I really can't see anything with the tinted windows. It's so dark. So that's the reason I gotta take them off. I really just don't like how you feel like you're in a tunnel and you can't see very well out the sides. So I'm gonna be taking the film off. I watched a couple YouTube videos and then we did the other side, so I've learned a lot of lessons doing it. So I thought I'd share with you how to take this window off. Plus it's really satisfying to watch it like peel off. Some people might just take a razor to it and clean this film off and then use Gooby Gone to actually peel it, clean it all off. But the best way is a steamer. And luckily, my wife has an old steamer that worked just perfect on the other window. So I'm gonna show you how it works on this window and show you a couple tricks to get into these seams where it's really hard to actually peel away. We learned some lessons on the other door, so let's get into it. So the items that you're gonna need for this are a straight razor like this just to start it and to do a little couple slits. And then I also have this little plastic razor that I use to shim down in the bottom to get the last few pieces. And then of course, this steamer. Now this bad boy is really hot, so once you start to actually heat it up, I like to start in this corner right here because I can get to it. But you're gonna try to grab and peel this off, and it's really hot, so you're gonna be trying not to burn yourself all the time. You'll probably see me do it multiple times. And don't try to go too quick, because the great thing about this is when you steam it up, the glue sticks to the film. It doesn't actually stick to the window, and then you don't have any cleanup afterwards, which is really awesome. So let me see if I can get in here. Move this away because it's really hot. Nope, not quite there yet. You can kind of feel because it pulls away. You do have to use some force. It's not going to just fall off, but you can tell when it's kind of enough that you're going to pull it off and you're going to keep the glue on the film. All right. Okay, we're getting there. Now we thought that the most satisfying thing would be to pull the entire thing all at once, but it really wasn't the best way to go about it. We realized the best way to go about it is to put little slits and do it in like about threes, because that way you can just keep working your way down as you go. So I'll do this side first. There we go. And get it to break away. Of course, I didn't say this, but you have to gap your window right here so that it'll give. But as you can see, look at how clean that is. It's just like perfect. It's awesome. This is the best part. When you have it right here, you just kind of keep running it back and forth, heating it all up. It's nicer when you can get it far enough away from the steamer so you don't burn your hands like I just did there. Honestly, it's so satisfying to actually see it come off. This has been really bothering me. I've really tried hard to like it, but I imagine if you're like in Florida or somewhere warm all the time, where the sun is really at you, it'd be really nice. And I do have to say, during the day on sunny days, it was really great. And I thought, boy, it might be nice for when it's really snowy in Michigan here, because it can get so bright. But the fact of the matter, it just is so hard to see at night that I have to take it off. I'm sure somebody, the previous owner, probably spent some good money to actually put this on. And that's cool that this Jeep is actually really well taken care of for being a Michigan Jeep. A lot of them, so we have salt on our roads and it just ruins the frame. My old Jeep, my yellow Jeep, that had a pretty rough frame. I had to get it welded all the time and everything too, to keep it going, and I did the POR 15, and that really helped stop it. I did that video. You can check it out up here on the right if you want to, if you have rust on your Jeep. But this one is totally clean, so I'm thinking the person really just drove it in the summer. It was kind of their summer ride, and that's probably why they had these on it, and it didn't bother them to just keep driving with tinted windows. Now, Here's where it gets into the seam, where it's stuck. This one's not as bad, but that other side is really rough. You really have to heat it up and kind of pull from an angle to pull it away from it. So I had to go fill up the steamer again with water, so I'm waiting for it to heat up. But what I did was, as you can see, I took this plastic knife and I stuck it into this molding right here just to pull it out, because it's all the way in, so that way I'm able to pull every little piece out and not leave little scraps down there. I left this strip because I'm going to show you same type of thing. It's all back in this here, and when I raise the window up and down, you can't really get to it either way. It stays that way, but I'm going to show you a trick that we learned on the first side. So now we're steaming up, but when you want to get down in that seam, you really want to kind of aim it right down in there. That way it just pulls out really easily. It's kind of a 20-minute job each window, which is not bad if you think about how if you had to scrape all this and clean all the glue off, would be pretty terrible. So I think this steaming method is pretty awesome. See how it's just pulling right out from underneath, and I just kind of keep a gap going, coming out real nice. Work my way down now. Same thing with this corner, it's kind of tucked in there, so I want to make sure I really heat it up in that corner so that it pulls out. So here's where I'm getting towards the end, and you really want to be excited and just pull it out, but don't. Give it its time, because that's a corner I don't want to leave any extra film in. So I'm barely pulling, but I'm putting so much heat in there that it's pulling out pretty nicely. Last little bit, boom. And that's it for this side. It all pulled out just like that. And the window is all clean, no glue whatsoever. So now I'm gonna move on to this side and show you how we got that. First I gotta drop this window down. And we'll just start this the same way we did with the other one. On the other side, what we did was we had this so long, it was hard to kind of pull it out of that seam. So that this one, that's why I left it that much skinnier, so that way when I'm actually pulling it, it's a little easier to actually get the whole thing to come out all at once. Here we go. Nice. Yeah, I heated that up pretty good, so it peeled out really easy. So now we really want to throw that heat into that corner so that it'll pull out and not leave any left in there. When they put this on, they must have probably taken it off, the panel off and everything, and put it on so that it's all the way back there, which is a really nice job. I mean, they did a great job putting it on. Imagine it was professionally done, but I hate to actually tear it off, but I'm gonna be so much happier being able to see out the sides. It's kind of like a tank. You're just sort of like, you can only see forward, not on the sides. Kind of cool, because nobody can see you in your Jeep, but at the same time, I just didn't feel safe in it. At night, that is, driving. So this is coming out perfect, really nicely. Again, just a little bit of force. Now I'm getting towards the bottom here, so I want to put my plastic razor to pull this molding back. There we go, just to make sure it all comes off and I don't leave any back in there. So we'll just heat this up real good. Not push it, just kind of pull nicely or softly. Just give it a little bit of a tug. Oh, she's close. Yeah, sweet. All right. So here it is, all off. And I can feel it's all sticky. It's got all the glue on that side. But as it is for the Jeep, you can see how absolutely clear it is. And totally clean. No, I don't have to use any Gooby Gone or any chemicals to get it off of the window. It's gonna be so nice. All right, so that's it. Came off in about each side about 15-20 minutes, not too bad. Get yourself a steamer and you can pull off the film tinting. Some of these really get old too, so maybe you have a vehicle that has it all wrinkled up from being on for like 20 years, or a back window where it has the actual like defrost strips, you definitely don't want to scrape that, because you screw up one of those, you lose it all. So they do this a lot on the back window. You want to steam that off. Well, hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, hit like and subscribe. Till next time, just remember, life's a hike, so hike happy in a Jeep without tinted windows in the front. Thanks so much for sticking around to the end of the video. If you're new to my channel, if you hit subscribe, that'd be awesome. I put out new videos every Thursday around outdoor gear. And if you'd like to support me, you can check out my merchandise. I have my Hike Happy shirt on here at my store. You can click that down below and check out the other apparel that I have. Till next Thursday, just go ahead and watch some of my other videos.